Hello, just going to give you a really quick update on where we are with Timebank. So Kirsty provided me with some best practice case studies this week. And what I've done is I've uploaded them into the sort of embryonic Timebank to show you how they will look. So you've got some sense of how the system will look and work. So I'll just take you through now and just show you some very basic bits and pieces. So basically, when you log into the Timebank, it'll have a URL, a web link that you'll go to a login screen, you'll log in, and head teachers are going to log in with their MySID usernames and passwords, because the two systems are going to be linked in terms of the school activity plan, so that when they select events from the Timebank, they can be added at the discretion of the head teacher into that activity plan, just so that it transfers that information there. So that can be then added as evidence in terms of some of the work that they're doing. It will house, the system will house both events, but also resources and professional development materials and so on and so forth, like the case studies. In terms of the way we've structured the Timebank, our thinking was to use the milestones for teachers and leaders that have come through the New Deal, the agreed milestones here that will appear on the left hand side. This is totally editable. If we want to change this at any time, we can do, but we thought it'd be good to get used to that terminology, especially as we're going to drive our school to school offers through the Timebank here. And basically, when you click on each of the sections in the Timebank, what will happen is you'll be able to view the resources that are within those sections. If you view all resources, you'll simply select the resources by doing a search for the types of resources you're looking for. So if I do a quick search here for teaching, okay, it restricts the number of the case studies that I can actually see. The number of resources I can see, and so on. So you could put teaching plus leadership, and then just the teaching and leadership resources would appear, or the events that are currently planned. Okay, you can also then filter here by recommended resources, so resources that will eventually be recommended for you through your habits and the sort of things that you're putting down. The rated resources, so if I click on rating now, because I've rated a couple of the resources already, you can then search by rated resources, and you'll see here that I've reviewed the this case study here with 5 stars. I'll show you how I did that in a second. But then the best rated resources come up first, most popular and most recent. So if you've been in, perhaps I haven't been in for a while and want to see what's new, click on most recent. It'll pull the most recent, recently added events or resources into the system. Okay. How easy is it to add something? Well, it's very easy actually. You've got a button here, a tab here called Make and Share. You click on the Make and Share tab, and then you simply would click on New Resource. Currently, we've got the ability to add resources in 2 formats: a URL, so a web address, or a file, which is what I did with the case studies, and then just added a little thumbnail picture to them. And then eventually we'll also be able to add the playlists, which is what the app development group are currently working on. They're working on some sort of rich materials that have got some embedded video and some questions and some other bits and pieces, and they can eventually be put through the Timebank via playlists as well. So we can link all the different workflows together. So yeah, very simple to do that. Takes a couple of minutes, and you've uploaded something. If I go back to the browse, if I've come into the system for the first time, and I'm in the tree view here, and I want to launch a resource. So let's say I want to launch not this monkey JPEG that I think that was added by someone who was testing the system. Obviously, that won't appear when we were to go live, and neither would the simple Google site or the Ronnie Corbett death being reported. I think they were just added as to show examples of how things can be uploaded. But from the best practice case study in Maindy here, if I want to access this, I click on it. It gives me a little summary. This is the school's logo here that I added. It gives a little summary of the case study. And what I can then do is I can launch the information. What that's now going to do is it's going to download onto my computer, and I can then pull the document up. Here it is. Okay, there's the Maindy best practice case study. So I can then read through, and learn from that. And perhaps if I'm quite keen on on that work, I may then contact Emma at Main D and see if I can go and see the school, and then start some of the transactions that you would expect to see within the Timebank. So that's how that works. In terms of launching resources, very simple, and you can bookmark things as well. And if you bookmark things, when you can go back and look at your bookmarks at a later date to see what you've bookmarked, if you perhaps haven't got a time when you're flicking through briefly as well. So there's those features. As you can see, I've rated this as 5 stars. I've rated it as par McKay, and very simply, what you can do when you pull down the resource. Obviously, I've already rated this one. I simply selected on the 5 stars and then wrote in my review. So just to show you how that would work on a different resource, if I wanted to rank, let's say I wanted to rank the Shire Newton case study here, I can go in. I can then go to reviews. There are no reviews at the moment, but on the right hand side here you see I can add a review. Well, I'm going to rate this as 5 stars. All right, hopefully some people can write more insightful things than that, but just gives you an illustration of what you can do. Click on send, and then that resource has been rated. So when I go back to the tree view now, if I should be able to search here for Shire Newton, and it should then pull up, there it is, the case study, and as you can see, it's now been added with the 5-star rating. And actually then when I search by rating here, the 5-star case studies will appear at the front of the system. That will also allow us to weed out perhaps some of the offers, perhaps some of the resources that are poorly rated or perhaps not rated at all, and through time just kind of drop off the bottom of the list. So it allows, and through time the idea will be that the system becomes sort of self-managing, self-regulating as people review each other's resources and so on. So that's what we've got so far. Okay, so we've got a basic system that will hold all of the case studies. The events part of the system is going to be added now over the summer term, so that in September we will go live with our schools in terms of the school-to-school offers that will then go into the system, and that will be able to be booked through the Timebank. And I'll explain that process when we've got there, but I thought that would just be helpful for you to have a very quick preview, obviously with should people be asking with the upcoming inspection and so on. So hopefully that's useful. Got any questions, obviously give me a shout.